SK Hynix stock is up more than 1,000%. So the smart money already cashed out, right? Wrong. The memory chip that drove that entire run is already yesterday's product. The one that actually matters ships inside Nvidia's next supercomputer, and a single company has already locked up roughly 70% of it. It isn't Nvidia. It's a Korean company most American investors don't even know they're allowed to buy. Here's the setup. Every conversation about the AI trade sounds the same. Nvidia, 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 the GPU, the brains. But a GPU is a very expensive paperweight if you can't feed it data fast enough. That job belongs to high bandwidth memory, or HBM, and it is the single tightest bottleneck in the entire AI stack. The company that dominates it isn't American, doesn't get talked about on US finance YouTube, and barely trades on US markets at all. That company is SK Hynix. In the next few minutes, I'll give you 3 things: why it controls the one component Nvidia can't make itself, why the crowd screaming, "You already missed it," is staring at the wrong cycle, and exactly how you, sitting in a normal US brokerage account, can actually own a slice of this. None of this is financial advice. Let's get into it. Start with what HBM actually is, in plain terms. A Nvidia AI chip is a brain that thinks at insane speed, but thinking is useless without a memory feeding it numbers just as fast. Regular memory can't keep up, so engineers stack memory chips vertically, right next to the processor, into a tower called high bandwidth memory. That tower is the difference between a chip running at full power and a chip starving. Here's the part Wall Street underweights. Nvidia does not make this memory. It buys it. And as of last year, SK Hynix shipped about 62% of all the HBM on Earth. Not a lead, a stranglehold. Samsung, the giant everyone assumes is number 1, fell behind. Micron, the only American name, is a distant third. So, when you buy Nvidia, you are quietly betting on a Korean supplier you've never looked at, because without its memory, Nvidia has nothing to ship. The brains get the headlines. The company feeding the brains gets the margins. Now the objection, and it's the first comment on every video like this. It already ran 1,000%. You're pumping exit liquidity. Fair. So let me be precise about what ran. That move was the HBM3E cycle, the memory inside today's Nvidia chips. That product is now mature. It is, in stock terms, the past. The cycle that hasn't been priced is HBM4, the memory inside Nvidia's next platform, Vera Rubin, which entered full production in June of this year. And here is the number that matters. SK Hynix has reportedly locked up around 70% of Nvidia's entire HBM4 order. Not 62% this time, 70%. So the question isn't, did I miss the run? The run you're looking at was the last chip. The question is whether the company that just won the biggest share of the next chip is done growing. Quick gut check before we go on. If a supplier controls 70% of the single scarcest part in the AI supply chain, is that a stock that's finished, or one the market still hasn't figured out how to price? Hold that thought, because the answer is complicated by something annoying. Here's the annoying part. SK Hynix is listed in Korea, ticker 000660 on the Korea Exchange. For a US investor, that is a wall. There's no clean, sponsored US listing. No normal ticker on the NASDAQ you just type in and buy. What does exist is an unsponsored ADR that trades over the counter under the symbol HXSCL. You can buy it today on Robinhood, Schwab, Fidelity, or Interactive Brokers. But And I want to be honest, not salesy, it's thinly traded. Wide bid-ask spreads, low volume, and a 15% Korean withholding tax on dividends that you then have to claw back at tax time. It works, but it's clunky. The reason this matters right now, SK Hynix is reportedly targeting an actual US listing as soon as August. If that happens, the single biggest friction on this stock, that Americans can barely access it, starts to disappear. That's the catalyst hiding under the surface. So how do you actually play it without the headache? 3 ways. Option 1, buy SK Hynix directly through the HXSCL ADR. Maximum exposure to the actual leader, but accept the thin liquidity and use limit orders, never market orders. Option 2, and the one a lot of people are quietly choosing, the Roundhill Memory ETF, ticker DRAM. It launched in April and packages the entire memory oligopoly into one ticker for under $100 a share. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron each around 24%, plus SanDisk, Kioxia, and the storage names. Since launch, it's up roughly 163%. The catch there is concentration. 3 names are 73% of the fund, but if your thesis is memory wins, that concentration is a feature, not a bug. Option 3, for someone who only touches US-listed stocks, Micron, ticker. It's the American pure play. It won about 18% of that HBM4 order, and it trades with full liquidity. You're buying the number 3 player instead of number 1. Less dominance, but zero access friction. Leader, basket, or proxy. There's no universally right answer. There's a right answer for your account. Let me argue the other side, because anyone who only gives you the bull case is selling you something. Risk 1, memory is the most brutally cyclical business in tech. It has boomed and busted for 40 years. Today's shortage becomes tomorrow's glut the moment everyone adds capacity at once, and they are all adding capacity. Risk 2, Samsung. It stumbled on HBM qualification, but it is a national champion with infinite balance sheet, and if it cracks HBM4 yields, that 70% share compresses fast. Risk 3, the run itself. A stock up 1,000% prices in a lot of good news. Any hiccup in the AI capex story hits the suppliers harder than Nvidia. And risk 4, that August US listing is a rumor until it's real. If it slips or disappoints, the easy access thesis loses its catalyst. None of this breaks the structural story that AI needs more memory than the world can make right now. But it does mean this is a position to size with respect, not a lottery ticket. So here's where it lands. The HBM bottleneck is real. SK Hynix sits on top of it, and the next cycle, HBM4 inside Vera Rubin, is just beginning, not ending. The hard part was never the thesis. It's the access, a world-class company hidden behind an awkward ticker, with a US listing maybe weeks away. If you found this useful, the one thing that actually helps this channel is a subscribe. I'm doing the next memory deep dive on whether Micron or the ETF is the smarter way in, and I don't want you to miss it. So tell me in the comments, leader, basket, or proxy, HXSCL, DRAM, or MU. I read everyone.